This is a special edition of Mai Tais at Sunset. Happy all the things in the first week of May. We've got May the 4th be with you. And then it's Revenge of the 5th, also called Cinco de Mayo. And
is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Everybody's like, May the 4th be with you. And then everybody's like, Revenge of the 5th. And I'm like, oh, wow. But
I didn't think about that either.
Yeah, but happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Did anybody have like tacos and tequila? Because they should have.
Margaritas.
Margaritas are good. I did have chips and salsa today, so I indulged a little bit. And I also have a great story that happened today.
Okay, wait. Set an intention. Let's just have a really great time today and share a lot of positivity. Hope everybody feels it. And happy all the things you said.
All the things at the beginning of
Friday.
May.
Happy all the things. All of May.
Yep.
May the 5th. Boys' Day. So there are, just like we celebrate Girls' Day.
Yep.
Back in March. May the 5th is celebrated in Hawaii as Boys' Day. We do Cinco de Mayo too. But also in Japan, they changed this to be Children's Day. But in Hawaii, we really do celebrate it as Boys' Day. And everybody hangs their flags of koi fish, large koi fish. And you usually have like the largest one. It's to represent every male in your household. So the largest fish represents like the father figure, or we have multi family living in Hawaii. So you got even grandpa up there, big fish. And then you have for all the boys, all the males in the house, they all have their own little fish. And it's just absolutely fun. You drive around and you see all these giant koi fish type flags. They look more like kites. They're super colorful. Strung up, they're like on giant bamboo poles, and people have them in front of their house. And yeah, so the giant fish called koi no takinobori, carp's waterfall climbing is what it means. And it's a Japanese proverb that means to succeed vigorously in life. And there's this really cool legend about why this carp or koi fish is because it swam up a waterfall and became a dragon. So it's kind of really revered in Asia. Like China, I think that story came from China and it's carried in Japan. But anyway, celebrates, it's part of Golden Week of Japan. But Boys' Day, they have dolls too. They're warrior dolls. So they're also in like glass cases and they look like samurai. I had this day used against me because my mom wanted to run out and get some Boys' Day gifts for my nephews. And my son, he's so expensive every time I go shopping. I said, hey, I just mentioned to him, I'm going to run to the store with your grandma. So you don't need to come. It's not a big deal. And he goes, where are you going? And I said, just to the grocery store. He goes, which one? And I said, the Japanese one in town. And he said, oh, it's okay. I can come. And I said, no, you probably have a really busy day, working on your art and whatever else you're doing. He goes, no, I can come. And I said, are you sure? Because it's only going to be fast. And so we left together with an agreed upon list of 6 items. 6 items. Would have cost me maybe about $80. But I came home from that shopping trip. And we didn't go to just one store. We went to 2. And it was over $100 at each store, of course, because I brought the expensive shopper in my house. And he just looked at me and he goes, thanks, Mom. Happy Boys' Day. Like, you are spoiled boy.
It sounds like you celebrated more of Boys' Day than Cinco de Mayo. Or Revenge of the 5th.
Revenge of the 5th. I am not enough of a Star Wars fan to have watched all of it. I really made plans.
Man,
from May 1st.
I was like, that's so sad.
I was like saying, we need to watch them, right? All the movies from the beginning. And I was going to start early. I was going to start on May 1st because there's a lot of movies.
There are.
And
isn't there like 9? 9 or 10 to include like the Han Solo one. There's like the Han Solo one. There's Rogue One. There's all the things. So I mean, and then now there's like spin-offs. There's animated ones. Like I'm working on the Clone Wars right now, and that's all animated. And I'm like, I'm never gonna catch up, but it's fine.
I know, and I was really gonna make an effort. And then when May 4th came and went, I was like, I couldn't even watch one.
Oh, that's so sad. I mean, at least you know what May.
I was obsessed with other things.
At least you know what May 4th means. You know, to us Star Wars
I do know what
fans.
it means.
Yeah.
I really tried to make a plan for it.
Yeah, I was looking forward to. Disney is actually opening up a resort that's Star Wars themed, and it's going to be just as expensive as going on their cruises. So that's like $3,000 to $4,000 a person. And they're opening up this hotel where as soon as you get off or out of your car or off the shuttle, you are entering an actual like storyline. And it's like a choose your own adventure. And they have a new lightsaber that they've created that actually retracts, like the real lightsabers. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I showed my mom and she's like, we have to go. And I'm like, yes, we do. Because I'm going to dress up the entire time as a Sith character. And I don't care. I have no shame.
I will say that the all of the dark side in the
dress
Empire,
way better. They dress way better.
Their costumes are far more interesting. The other guys, they kind of look like thrown together.
Well, they're supposed to be like priests, monks, you know, like all the things. They represent a certain type, you know, of religion. I mean, there's two different sides of religion. But I was just like, no, I can wear like black and red leather the whole time and just be dark. And my mom's like, fine, I'll just go. She was like, I'll wear my peasant costume and I'll fit right in. And I was like, perfect. So, I mean, I actually think my mom would be Sith. She actually bought a cloak from Disney to wear to the Renaissance Festival. And so I think she's like halfway there. She's got a black cloak and she loves it. She loves it. She's like, why would I want to wear brown? And I'm like, I don't know, Mom. So very fun. Yeah. Happy Boys Day to your son and to your nephews. I guess my brother maybe and my dad, but we don't have the koi fish.
Yep.
I always thought the koi fish were really cute though. The kind of kite looking things when I saw them in Hawaii. Very cute. And then, you know, Star Wars, and then, you know,
Star Wars.
Just that time in May where it's an excuse to have more of a Taco Tuesday.
I just love Mexican food. I was so excited to go out to Mexican restaurant recently. How much better when somebody else cooks.
Well, it's less mess. I agree. I have been craving crawfish. Crawfish season is almost over. And so my brother and I were talking today and he's like, we got to get crawfish, but I got to work, but we got to get crawfish. And I was like, dude, we can have crawfish. We can put it in a bag and just walk around and eat it. Well, because we're actually going to go and check out some land tomorrow afternoon. And so I'm going to record some of this new land that we're looking at, but I'm also stopping by the land that we purchased and going to do a recording of it as well. Lots of things are going to be happening in the next few months, but I think over the summer is like the worst time to move.
Yeah.
And we're all moving.
Okay,
So.
But if you're going to be doing like, since I know you guys are buying this land and it's going to need a lot of work to do on it, you want to do that during the summer months while, you know, the weather's good. You guys are going to be digging up a whole lot of stuff and moving.
Yeah.
Digging lines for plumbing and electrical and sewer and I don't know what else.
It's just so hot.
So
that's the only thing we're dreading is like it's so hot. So my new house will have a porch, but we're not going to build that till like the fall when it's a little bit cooler because that's something that we're going to build together. So you definitely have to be mindful of the weather here. Like in the summer, it could like be torrential thunderstorms after like no rain whatsoever and then mudslides, you know, so it could be like a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to mentally prepare ourselves to be very hot and gross.
Since you guys are building and you know that potential freezing could happen again, some random Christmas or winter season, I guess you guys are going to be building for winterization now.
Yes, we are going to be doing a lot of insulating. What's funny is I've seen some really creative ideas that people had to insulate their like they're kind of like their water heaters and like their pipes and things. People were using like all their blankets and towels and duct tape them around their pipes for insulation. It's just so funny to watch. It's just so
That's what
funny
we
to
would have
like
to do here in
watch people do
Hawaii.
that. Well, like it hails a lot here, right? So somebody down the street actually threw like their entire mattress on top of their car to protect
That's
it from the hail.
clever.
No, but I mean, when the hail is like the size of a golf ball or softball, even baseball size,
Yeah.
I mean, it will destroy your vehicle, and then you're without a vehicle. So I would definitely be doing something like that, or like putting a quilt, or man, my down comforter, whatever, like a foam top,
Yeah.
something.
Yep.
It's smart. It is smart. People are geniuses. But I gotta say, like the human body is a weird thing, and the reason why I'm kind of going from mind to body now is I just had something weird happen today that was completely unexpected, and the latest trend now is, and I think she's been popular for a while. She's a doctor, dermatologist. She's Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh no! I am
she
so freaked out by that show.
she's really, I mean, it's just people are just fascinated with like what people allow to develop, right? So I can say healthcare professionals are not the best at taking care of themselves sometimes, and I have let this miscellaneous bump on my back shoulder, my left shoulder, kind of develop over time. And I was like, well, I'm not dying from it. I know it's not cancer or anything like that. So
Mhm.
I felt like I could just delay. Well, finally, I decided to do something about it and get it checked.
Mhm.
So I go and I think, all right, everything's going to be fine. Maybe they'll squeeze it like they do on Dr. Pimple Popper. No big deal.
Mhm.
She takes one look at it. She's like, no, we're going to have to cut that out. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't have a choice anyway, right? I'm already there.
Yeah.
She's like, you can come back. And I go, no. If we're going to do this, we're going to do it like, we're going to do it, right? Because I have no fear of
Yeah.
like pain as far as like
Mhm.
needles and like whatnot. So they use lidocaine with epi, and of course that shit burns, and I feel bad for all the patients that I've like stuck with that stuff. But you know what? It works because you don't feel pain after a good minute or so of it sitting there. So they numb me up, and the doctor comes in, and she's like, are you afraid? I'm like, no, not really. And then she starts to go for it. She's like, okay, I'm going to do the punch now. And I'm like, all right. So a punch, you're thinking like somebody like uses a hole puncher and punches into your skin. No, it's actually it looks like a paintbrush, like a plastic paintbrush, but on the end of it has a circular like razor. So literally it creates
Like a scalpel? Not a scalpel?
It's not a scalpel. I mean, it looks like a paintbrush, like plastic paintbrush handle with a circular razor that all they do is they put it over like where they're going to go, and then they twist it back and forth. So it like tunnels basically like this hole in your skin and creates like this long noodle. That's how I'm going to describe it.
This is
like a noodle.
This is horrifying.
Horrifying. It's horrifying. So she goes in and I can hear it, right? It sounds like and I'm like, all right. And she goes, okay, we got the majority of it. Oh, I found something else. And she called it a sack. And I was like, a what?
Oh, no.
And she was like, nope, we got the sack out. And I was like, sack? Like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I don't use these terms like ever. So, well, I mean, I do, but like not in reference to like some kind of thing coming out of my skin. So she looked at it.
I refuse to see whatever photo you were threatening to send
I can't
me.
wait to send it to you.
I refuse.
It's disgusting. I'm going to just go ahead and say it's gross. So she stitches me up. Everything's fine. I notice that I'm bleeding a lot because I can feel it. And she's like, okay, you're all set. I didn't have to take my shirt off for this at all. It was just on my shoulder. She just, did it real quick and all was well. So I get up and I turn around and the nurse is there with me cleaning up. I was like, can I see it? And she's like, yeah, you can totally see it. You're working surgery. You can totally look at this. So I was like, okay. I pick up the little cup with the formalin in it, and I'm like, that's gross. Like, it's just gross looking. And it looks like, I don't know. It's just amazing how thick the body is, right? Like you can just literally take like an inch of someone's like depth. So you see like the skin layer, the dermis, the epidermis, the subcutaneous, and then you see like two sacs. And she goes, we sometimes call those affectionately like egg sacs because you had a cyst in your body and it was like growing. And I was
Oh
like,
my
oh
God.
my God, like that is gross. Like I have not seen, I have seen cysts, but I've never seen one come out of my body. So I was like mortified. I was mortified at how gross that looks. You know what I mean? And I showed my mom and she goes,
Oh.
oh, that's kind of big. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, how long did you have that? And I was like, over a year. And it was like, yeah, it was time. But it's just weird what your skin looks like. And then you see all the layers and you're like, man, does that exist under my skin? Woo. Anyway, did you like it?
Oh no. No, it's so disgusting. Oh my God. It's like alien autopsy.
Oh yeah, it's pretty disgusting. I'm not even gonna lie, but this is the stuff. This is the stuff that grows under your skin. So my public service announcement for everyone is to definitely get some things checked out. My brother told me, he was like, I'm getting every bump checked now because if that shit's growing under my skin, that's disgusting. And I was like, I bet you have one or two and you don't even know. So now you all know, and I'm glad that I was able to educate all of our listeners on how disgusting that is. But
I don't even know how people would. I don't know if they want to look at that. Maybe.
I think people would want to look at it. But the thing is, guys, you have to understand that sometimes the body, so we all get like ingrown hairs at least once in our life, maybe a skin tag, maybe a pimple. This just happens because our like follicles get clogged. And then it just grows and grows. And I mean, a cyst is a non-cancerous like tumor. I mean, it's growing, right? It's a bump.
Yeah.
So, I think the most important thing is you have to get these things checked and you got to get them out. I mean, they're just going to exist and you don't want it to stay there. So now that we've learned something today, I'm glad that I can share that my like terrifying, everybody's like, so you had an unexpected surgery today? And I was like, yes, I did. I had to sign a consent form and everything to have my body punched, basically. Like a chunk of my body was out.
Earlier, you texted me that. And I was like, save it. It sounds like a story. And you're like, fine. And we got on the call and I can see you. And for some reason, I thought it was something on your face. You said something about stitches and I'm just like thinking it's on your head or something. Like
no.
You previously said that you were clumsy.
Nope.
All last week. I thought it might still be following you around. I thought you might have fallen again.
Nope.
But this is beyond what I imagined.
Well, I mean, it's a good story. My mom thought the story was entertaining. My brother was completely grossed out. I mean, this is like a good one to share. Like when people are like, oh my God, what is the grossest thing that's happened to you lately? And I'll be like, let me show you what was growing in my body.
Oh, no. Okay. I had to turn away from that. I had to cover the phone.
Well, now it's like permanently in your records. Like
I can't unsee it.
No, you can't. And I kind of wish that I could have played with it a little bit and examined it a little bit more.
No,
I wanted to look at it more, even though it was in that carcinogenic formalin. But I would have like examined it harder because I thought it was really interesting. You do not think so?
Ew.
But that's okay.
I don't know how to recover. I don't know where to go from there.
I don't think you have to go anywhere. I think you just like leave it. You know?
Should we end this podcast now? People are never going to listen to us again.
No, I think we should continue because I think people really find this stuff interesting. Like they want to know. And especially from my perspective, I mean, I've taken out like ovarian cysts. I've taken out cysts that grow in the chest and the head and like all places. But it's just so different when it comes from your body. You're like, why? What the fuck? Sorry, this is like a definite WTF moment. Because like when I saw it, the nurse was laughing at me because I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, why did that come out of my body? And she's like, it's been there. It's been there for a while. And I was like, look, it was a friend. It had some real estate for a while. Should have named it something. But I don't know. It could be like Clyde the cyst or whatever. I didn't even know it was a cyst until she took it out. She's like, I really don't know what it is. Let's just check. And I was like, she's like, I know it's a cyst because it's got a sac to it. Maybe two. And I was like, that's gross. You may be in surgery, Tai, but damn it, you can't handle your own stuff. I can't. It's gross. So there you go.
Oh,
That's my story, and I'm sticking to
my
it.
mind is blown.
Is it?
It is. I wasn't expecting that. I had this really great day out, and
Well,
another fun day out. It was beautiful today, and then now you just blasted me with the most shocking imagery.
are we gonna post this up or what? I feel like people. You know what? You guys have to be a patron in order to see this picture. Like,
Yeah, okay.
That's how
we'll just
that's
put it
gonna
on
work.
Patreon.
yeah, because I don't know.
You write a nice thing and then put on Patreon. Put your PhD degree to work and write something official with it.
That's funny. I just think it's funny because it was gross. It was just gross, and I like bleed. So like whenever I get tattoos and stuff, like they're always like, "Oh my gosh, you're bleeding a lot," but my bleeding stops really quickly. But I just bleed, and so I was like, "Is everything okay?" Because I could just feel it, and I was like, "Oh, she must have gone deep." Yeah, she did. She went deep with that one. Or oh my, I'm so sorry.
Okay. I've had stitches a couple of times.
You know,
they hurt.
Wait, the funniest thing is though, the whole time I'm laying there on my stomach, and I'm like, bitches get stitches or snitches get stitches. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like I was getting nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting stitches. Anyway, all right. This is the second time in my life I've gotten stitches, and unrelated to any accidents. It's literally been to just kind of biopsy a couple things. Because I've been out in the sun a lot, and they always worry about me having some kind of like cancer or whatnot. So I mean, this has been more than one. But I'm grateful I've never been injured to the point where I've had to have like a lot of stitches because I don't like them because they're weird.
They hurt.
Yeah, they hurt.
And the area never heals back the same. And it's always like you have this weird scar it's like they know it's a Frankenstein kind of scar.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks weird. It really messes things up. I'm glad this one is not over any of my tattoos because the other one was.
Oh, that's a bummer. Then you have to like make a new tattoo with it.
Oh no, well, I mean, it's pretty hidden, but you can see it. I tend to scar funny, so I get these things called keloids sometimes, and it creates like this really hard tissue over it instead of these. You know how some scars are like very smooth, flat, and you don't even know they're scars? Yeah, I don't get those. I get like bumps, and so it's kind of not nice.
I think I might need another drink after this.
Oh gosh. So tell me, what kind of stitches have you had?
They were all accident prone kind of injuries that required stitches.
Oh.
I've done a lot of stupid things.
Okay, well, we're all ears.
It was actually one of the most accident prone days of the year in America, which was Thanksgiving Day.
Uh-huh.
I had this gorgeous crystal bowl that I was about to put something in, and I was just rinsing it, and when it was all soapy, it slipped out of my hands into the sink and cracked in the sink, and a big shard came up and stabbed me in the arm.
Wait, was I here for that?
Nope. Oh, you might have been in Hawaii. I can't remember, but you weren't there. But I was rushed to the hospital with blood all over my arm. It was pretty ugly. But everything was ready, and all my family were at my house, like 20 people, and 26 people actually. They were all here. The food was ready, and I'm like, just go eat. I'm gonna go to the emergency room. And by the time I came back, everybody had eaten.
Wow.
The food was being put away. I mean, the emergency room, of course, was filled with a lot of other people who've injured themselves on that holiday. That was a few years ago.
I think I was in Hawaii for that because I remember you calling me and then showing me a picture of it, and I was like, why didn't you call me?
Yeah. You weren't there, and I was bleeding a lot. So, but then, yeah, that was terrible stitches. And I was on so much adrenaline, I guess, in my system. They said, do you want painkillers? And first I said, I don't know. I don't feel anything right now. Then they go, oh, you're fine. They walked away. And then as soon as they walked away, that's when the pain started. So if I can just say anything, if you go in with anything and they ask if you want painkillers, the answer is yes.
Yeah, it's
the
always
answer is
yes.
always
Yeah.
yes.
Like, I kind of wish I had asked for something because now my shoulder hurts really bad, but I'm like, no, I'll go sleep. I'll go sleep later. But hey, bitches get stitches. That's the theme of this one. It went from like awesome first week of May to like bitches get stitches, and so I'm down with that. And I've seen this like latest trends. Okay, I'm on these latest trends thing, and it's so funny because I'm watching a TikTok that has been like posted several times. And I guess TikTok is the new way to date. Like, people are literally posting their age, where they live, what they like, what their sign is and stuff to get dates. And people are like hooking up through TikTok. And I'm so confused.
Any social media platform, I mean, LinkedIn, honestly, that one was supposed to be
Really?
like a business network. And I got so many dating requests on LinkedIn.
That's
which
weird.
was very odd.
That's weird.
Yeah. That one was very weird. But it wouldn't stop. They would keep coming. And I'd be like, I'm not interested in using this for dating.
You know what?
It's supposed to be a network.
I talked to, I'm sorry. I recently spoke to someone who does counterterrorism through the internet. Mm-hmm. And they said LinkedIn is like the number one place to catch terrorists and people posing as other people. And so I think that's really interesting that people are using it for dating, but also it's like the number one place to also find terrorists.
Oh, that's weird. Now I don't want to have a LinkedIn account anymore. Oh, okay. So my mom tells me that her friend from high school is coming for her daughter's wedding in Hawaii, and she lives in Pennsylvania. And she and a few of her other friends have decided not to get vaccinated.
Oh.
And I said, Mom, you're not allowed to hang out with your friend.
How do they?
You can't. She's decided to come to her daughter's wedding in Hawaii and not get vaccinated. And I don't actually know if you can come into Hawaii without the proof of vaccination. You have to have your card. But there are, I guess, certain airlines who will let you in, but I don't know what happens when you get here.
Yeah, I think honestly, you have to take a COVID test before you get there. You have to take another COVID test, and then you have to quarantine. Until that test comes back negative.
And my mom will be hanging out with my nephews who can't get vaccinated. They're underage.
Right.
So I said, you can't go and visit. I forbid you.
Yeah, she needs to be careful. I mean, I'm surprised they don't want to get vaccinated, but yet they want to travel. Like, that's such a high risk. I mean, I understand it's for a wedding. It's for a wedding, but
for a wedding, her daughter's wedding. You got to come. But why wouldn't you go and get vaccinated?
Well, I mean, there are some people. Okay, so I felt like this was really wrong. Is that I read recently that a hospital system in Texas actually is requiring all their employees to be vaccinated. And I was, or they would be laid off. And I thought that was really interesting because what if you can't get it? So maybe like her friends can't get it, Some people are not able to because they have really bad reactions to immunizations or whatnot. Or maybe they're afraid of the clotting, that was reported. But I mean, there is a lot of fear behind getting the vaccine. That's why we're kind of in a lull now because a lot of people don't want to get it.
Well, her and her classmates, she wanted to come to Hawaii and get together with my mom and all of her other classmates.
Yeah.
And all the classmates here in Hawaii have been vaccinated. And they're like, we don't know how to hang out with her if she's not vaccinated. They would all have to wear masks. They would all have to, social distance. And it's not going to be a whole lot of fun. But I still told my mom, you're not allowed. I'm sorry. Not if you're going to be interacting with my nephews because you could be I don't know if you can not, if just because you're vaccinated, can you still be a carrier? Yeah. If you interact with somebody who has it?
Yeah, you definitely can. Yep.
So scary stuff. I don't know. This is not a thing. This is not a virus to play with at all.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's been kind of hard in Texas because everybody is just mask off, and I still wear a mask into businesses. Today I almost forgot. Like I was walking And then I was like, oh shit, I forgot my mask. Like turn around. Because everybody was walking around me like with no mask. And then I realized like I'm going into a building. I need a mask. But a lot of people are not. They're all masked off. They're all at restaurants. They're all at bars and stuff. And so, I mean, we're having a Comic-Con coming up, like an anime con in July. And it's mask off and there's no capacity. I mean, there's no capacity limits now. Even like in Florida, the governor just recently said there's no limits. So now Disney World's like, oh, well, we'll just go back to what we were doing then. Mm-hmm. You know, because they got to make up for lost time.
I understand. I just don't know how this is gonna go forward.
Unfortunately, I think it's just we're just gonna eventually have to go forward. An interesting thing I read today also was that Oregon's on complete lockdown.
Oh,
because
this people are dying. That's why people die from this.
A lot of people are getting infected
virus.
And they have gone up in numbers quite a bit. So they indefinitely extended. So there's no end date to they have to wear masks indoors. They cannot have indoor parties. They just shut down indoor dining again. I mean, so it's weird to see like different parts of the country be on lockdown and then like Texas and Florida are like, woo, let's just do this, whatever. And I mean, I still practice all of the COVID precautions because I feel like, you know, it's not worth me putting somebody in danger or putting myself or my family members in danger, you know? Mm-hmm. So we just have to be responsible in our own way and hope that things get better. You know, I really would like to see everybody come out of the pandemic better than they were going in. But they say like the economy's bouncing back, but nobody wants to work. I mean, a lot of people don't work still. And I don't know. I don't know what that looks like.
Or a lot of people have found a way to find a new employment online, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, probably but it's interesting because like they built all of these new restaurants everywhere, but a lot of them are shut down because they don't have enough employees to work it.
Well, I can't imagine that in Texas because there's no COVID there apparently, and everything's open.
There's still not enough people to work like in all of the businesses that are open, or like a lot of businesses shut down. I mean, I get it. You know, a lot of my favorite restaurants shut down for good, and I was like, wow, okay, they could not survive. But
sad. I just read something today too. What was it? That before COVID, our airport, our main international airport, has gotten biometric scanners, which allow people who are traveling internationally to Hawaii. They don't have to go through like a manual process of getting their passport and things checked. Mm-hmm. And you get scanned with a video scanner or something, biometric scanner. Anyway, so I thought it was interesting at the end of this article. It said that before the pandemic, right now there's about 300 international travelers, but before the pandemic, 7,000 international travelers, and that's per day. So now we're only seeing about 300-ish international travelers to Hawaii, but when things kick back up, I'm sure we'll get right back up to our normal numbers of 7,000 plus. Daily people coming. That's just international arrivals.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. I mean, you know, they were talking about the influx of like Hawaii tourism and everything, but I still worry for you know the residents of Hawaii. I mean, there's a lot of children coming over there that are not having to do all these tests and do the vaccinations, and so they can get sick. And they bring it. Yeah. You know, so
I'm worried about the children for sure because they can't get vaccinated yet.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everybody is just being overly cautious and still practicing good hand hygiene and sanitizing and everything. Yeah, but I don't know if they are.
I'm trying to think of the places that it would be dangerous. Like I feel okay at the beach because you can space out. There's a lot of space on the beach. And when you're in the ocean, you can space out in the ocean. But when you go to like the water park or any of like the hotels, they have like swimming lagoons and pools and things like that. That's where children will interact with other kids, and these kids aren't vaccinated.
I just think walking around Waikiki, all the stores and all the things. But you know what? Let's just send out good vibes like you
Good
do.
vibes.
Good intentions for everyone. Stay safe. But yeah, this has been really fun. It's kind of a special edition Mai Tais.
It's been something.
Just want to say thank you to all our patrons and your support. Without you guys, we would not have all this like excitement and motivation to continue forward. Thanks for joining us for a special edition of Mai Tais at Sunset. Please check us out, maitaisatsunset.com. Like, subscribe, and share if you guys can. That would be really great. And we are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we are continuing to work on our website. So thank you so much.
Until we meet again. Oh, hoo-wee-ho.